Wait, did I add requests to be on broadcast? That's not what I meant to do. Finish, continue. Okay. Actually, who's there? I think I did this wrong, y'all. Oh, here we are. Okay. All right. Bring it on. Paul Capozio. Here comes Paul. Paul and I are going to be talking about the gel. All right. Hopefully this will be in just a second. This is my and Paul's second live conversation, and I am hoping he comes on here in just a second. And we're going to, again, be talking about the gel. By the way, I got my bottle over the weekend, and I have been on it now. This will be my 4th day. So there you are. Hey, Paul.
Dave, you there?
Yeah, I am. Hey, Paul, how are you?
Good. I apologize. I was running a little bit behind schedule. I was just doing a call, and I just wanted to get on here. So sorry about that. I apologize, everyone. Hi.
That's okay. The life of an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I got my bottle.
Awesome.
Got mine on Saturday. Started it Sunday, and tonight will be my 4th evening.
Right.
And so far, I've been sleeping very well. I can tell that is a major benefit for sure. I wasn't sleeping poorly, just to be, totally transparent, but I can definitely tell I'm sleeping a lot more soundly.
And that's after what, only 4 days?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
In fact, I have a app on my phone. I have a Sleep Number bed, and one of the things they have is Sleep IQ. And Sleep IQ actually tracks your sleep. It tracks your restful time of sleep. And my first night, they give a score, and it's like 100 is the best. I had like a 94.
Wow.
And I haven't had that in forever, which was kind of cool.
That is very cool. But you know what's funny? Now that you mentioned that, why don't we talk a little bit about that? Because it took me about 2.5 weeks to feel the effects. And I'm a little bit of a bigger guy. I'm 6'2", about 240. Actually, dropping a little bit more, because of the gel. But so everybody has a different, metabolism. They have a different physiology. So by taking the product, my wife Linda felt something after about a week or so. You felt something in 4 days. We've had numerous people who felt things in a very, very, what I would consider immediate fashion. Because normally with a lot of the things that are available over the counter, or even prescription drugs, would take months sometimes to work. I was on a blood pressure medicine that literally they kept me on a blood pressure medicine for 6 months, kept assuming it was going to work because it was the #1 clinically trialed blood pressure medicine. And then all of a sudden they realized that after 6 months it was doing nothing for me, that they put me on some generic, and within 2 weeks my pressure dropped, and then after, and luckily now I'm down to only 5 milligrams of that drug, which is the smallest dose you can get. And my doctor says if I give up the bourbon, I could probably give that up. But so I think it's important to talk about how this is not an if product, it's a when product. And we're seeing more and more people within 4 days or weeks. And if you talk about our money back guarantee, that in 30 days you can get all your money back, there is zero risk to getting involved with this company and getting involved with this product. Also, let's talk about how are you applying it. Many people are putting it in the part of their wrist or the inside of their elbow there. I happen to use the back of my hand. I don't know if you could really see it, but you'll see the
Mhm.
vascularity in the thin skin in my
Right.
hand. And that really, really is a great application site. Behind the knee is good. So go ahead.
Shall I demonstrate?
Yeah, sure. Please do.
Okay, so this would be about when I would do it. That's what I believe anyway. So here we go. The first time I did it, I pumped it and it went way too much. So I hope you can see
Yeah,
this.
you can.
I'm
You
going
can.
to give it about, that's one, that's two. That's about right, right?
Yeah, that's about right. I actually do one pump a little short of a full, and that works good. But that's great. And you see how you're applying it.
Mhm.
You're not using your fingertips because you're just wasting it if you put it on. In fact, the video does show with the fingers, and we all realize now that it's much better
Right.
to do it that way. And if you have excess, you could just rub it in that part of your elbow or even on the inside of your wrist there a little bit too. Um,
Right.
and
So,
I would move the application sites around a little bit. In fact, anyone who's listening who's in the business already, and if you have someone that they're saying, well, I'm on this for 2 weeks and I don't feel anything, have them move the application site. In fact, I tell people, if you don't feel anything in 2 weeks, call me. I want to talk to you about your application site. I want to talk about if they're possibly using a lotion or when they're putting it on to make sure they're getting it through the skin.
right. Well, I tell you what that brings up a good segue, I guess. If you get on Facebook at all and you're new to this, you have probably seen several of your friends, people around uh, all over the place talking about this. What in the heck is everybody so dang excited about,
Right.
Paul?
Well, listen, we finally have, and the people who know me from the business, I am not what you consider an expert network marketer. I was never really into network marketing. I dabbled in the tail end of something, and like many people, the product didn't work out and things like that. I probably spent a month or two in it. But uh, what I've um, what I've realized with this product is we have HGH and it's in a microdose. So now we're getting the most effective way to safely get HGH in our system. And if we don't know what HGH is, I'll tell everybody just briefly. HGH is the hormone that's produced in our pituitary. It's the regulatory hormone, or like Alex likes to say, the mother of all hormones. And it kind of regulates our entire body. And it's in its most prevalence when we're born to about 20 to 25 years old. So when you have that type of a product that can get into your system and start, affecting you in positive ways, there are many people who are seeing benefits on, in their joint health. There are many people who are seeing it in their mental health and mood and things like that. Many people, are experiencing issues with, their overall physiology, muscle density, better workouts. They're feeling and recovering more. Listen, I hate cardio. Right, I was always a weightlifter, and I'm riding my bike every morning now from about 8 o'clock till about 9:30. I literally put my headset on and get on the bike and start doing it. So what's making it viral is two things: we have an FDA registration and we have HGH. Add on top
Mm-hmm.
of that, people who absolutely are insane about the results they're getting about the product. You're creating what's a viral atmosphere. And when you have a viral atmosphere, people want to know what it's all about. Now, take away the fact that this is a real product that really works. It's not hype, right? So, 90 to 93% of the people who buy this product are staying on the product. That's usually not the case. And especially in network marketing, there's people have that, oh, it's network marketing, oh, it's a pyramid thing. When you have a real product, with real people selling it, people that were experiencing our own real experiences. Go on the women's testimonial page. There's over 100,000 people there. The men's page is 50, 60,000 people, right? So you have people that are in all different stages. You have the evangelistic type, people who've been on the product like myself and Linda for 6 months that we can't rave enough about it. You have people who are on it for a couple of weeks like yourself, 4 days that are talking about it. And you have people who haven't even tried it yet. So it's a real good demographic of people thinking, people just in, and people who have been in it for a while. And it has been life-changing for us, not only in our health, but in our finances as well. I mean, we're in a 5-figure a month income on this thing. We're out, we're not even shipping product until a few more weeks. We're at the tail end of that. And, considering all the challenges, this has been an overnight success, for lack of a better word. It really has,
Right. Well, you bring up overnight, but I think it's important to note that this product wasn't developed last week.
Oh,
right?
not at all. Sure. This is a 14-year-old product. Alex developed the product about 14, 15 years ago, was selling it through his health and wellness store in San Francisco. He developed the product and was selling it for about 7 years. And then the FDA came in and said, hold on a second, pal. This is a hormone product. We'd really like to take a harder look at it. We know it's homeopathic, but we'd really like to, to have you go for a registration. So he basically took the product off the market, worked with the FDA over the last 7 years, was able to produce in small batches and increasing it basically in like some sort of a trial basis. And after 7 years, he's been released for unlimited production. And what we didn't realize back in March is that, unlimited production is really where we need to be, because we've gone through 5,000 bottles at a clip at an order, and then 15,000, and now 20,000, and now 140,000 bottles are on their way to San Francisco. And, a little birdie told me that we are poised to have the plant in Iowa producing by October, November, or let's say the fall, over 700, the equivalent of 750,000 bottles per month in raw material. And we have to work out with 2 other, possibly 3 additional bottling facilities. And these are all FDA regulated facilities.
Right.
So we are poised to be the disruptive product, I think, of this, the last 10 years.
Right. Now, HGH, this is the only transdermal gel available. You can also, if you're able to get a prescription from a doctor, you can get it. That costs thousands of dollars a month, correct?
I was on injectables. I tell the story. I went through my midlife crisis back 10 years ago when I was 45. I'm 55 now. And I did the whole thing. I got the sports car, and I was doing the testosterone injections and the HGH, and I was in amazing shape. The HGH cost me about $1,500 a month. The testosterone was costing me about $600. I did feel great. Got to be honest, I did overdo it a little bit, which gave me tremendous physical results, but I knew that it wasn't really the right way to do it. And I kind of quit. And obviously within 6 months to a year, some of those gains went away, because it is a product you need to take on a regular basis. And then when I was doing my research on this product and looked into what's happening in Japan, and the concept of microdosing, it really, really makes a lot of sense for a long-term solution. We're putting the HGH back in our bodies similar in the way that our pituitary does it, a little bit at a time on a fairly regular basis. And that gives you that even production versus then this big injection in the morning and you have this big peak of HGH in your system. Your liver necessarily cannot process it all. And that's when things can go awry because you're not utilizing it all. With microdosing, right, our body can easily absorb this, put it into our system, and go on its merry way. So it's slow and steady wins the race.
So the injectable route, not only it's just for the vast majority of everybody other than the pretty much ultra rich, it rules out totally. But this is priced where really anybody within reason,
right,
could afford to do this. And about what age range would you and what kind of things might somebody be going through that they say, you know what, I might want to give this a try?
Well, what's funny? We say 25 and up. I was on the phone today with a few distributors who were doing 3-way calls, and we know that's how we build this business, right? We send out a video, and then we get an upline person like myself or Joe or Frank or someone who's in your upline to do a 3-way call with them. And a lot of the kids today were in their 20s, and they were really the entrepreneurial type, college grads looking for multiple streams of income. But I found that the people who are most excited about the product are those of us who are getting up there in age, right? So you really think of the 35 to the 55. I mean, my mom's 85, you know, that are seeing the most benefit of it. So I think the younger crowd, like the physical trainers and everything, see it as more on the entrepreneurial side, where we see it not only on the entrepreneurial side, you know, we see it on the, we see the most benefit from it, because these kids are still producing a good amount of HGH. You know, where we are, you know, I'm probably getting to the, you know, towards the tail end of my HGH production naturally anyway.
Right. So why would an average guy like me be talking to somebody 1,500 miles away at 8:30 at night, or whatever time, 8:15 at night, 9:15 your time?
Correct.
Why am I doing this? Tell everybody why you might want to consider looking at this from the business standpoint.
Well, you know, because you can. Think of it. Here we are, this technology, right? I'm growing a business of thousands of people, literally, in my organization by using my smartphone and talking to someone halfway across the country. So now what's happening is we have the ability to have a small business or a home-based business. I like to say a phone-based business, and truly be able to make it. And it's so funny because a lot of people talk about, and I was one of them, about the negative aspect of network marketing or person-to-person marketing, right? Well, in my opinion, I think it was too early. This is the time where network marketing is really truly coming into its own, person to person. Number one, you can create a rapport with people, right? The days are gone where you'd walk into your local department store and ask about a television set or a washing machine and have the person who's selling it to you know more about the machine than you do. I go in to buy a television. I happen to be an AV guy. I love audio visual equipment, sound equipment, and I'll go into a store looking at a new TV and I know more about it than the guy that's selling it to me. So, you know, we're coming,
of the time. Yeah.
right? So now, you know, people like us, we love the product. We have intimate knowledge of the product. We're able to convey the message so easily, and we could reach, you know, as I can see here, hundreds of people, you know, at a time, and we could truly give a true testimonial. So that's why this is exploding, number one. Number two, the days of the gold watch and the 30-year stint at a company are gone. My dad was the consummate. Do you remember Fabergé, that company that made Brute? And okay, my dad was a loyal employee of the Fabergé company. He worked there for years and years and years. And you know, one of the biggest thing was he got to meet Farrah Fawcett because she was doing the Fabergé honey whatever commercial, you know, and that was it, you know. And you get your gold watch and you're on your way. And that company loyalty is gone. The loyalty from the company to the employee, and now vice versa. So, you know, to stake your claim has to be with multiple streams of income. You know, we've seen the mortgage crisis, you know, we've seen the health insurance crisis. So there's constant things that are happening that are disrupting our incomes, either by a reduction in our income or the loss of a job or a position, or by the increased cost of health insurance and everything. So either we're making less or we're making more, but more is getting taken out. So we need those multiple streams of income. God forbid one of those are disrupted, it doesn't hurt as much that if you're relying on one thing. Many people, regardless of whether you make $3,000 a month or $300,000 a month or $20,000 a year or $20 million a year, you know, many people are living paycheck to paycheck. And I'm talking to the people making $150,000, $200,000 a year that are still living paycheck to paycheck. And it's you know, it's something to seriously think about. Now, do we need to put 80 hours a week into this? No, I don't. I'm a big builder, but you know, I do a couple of hours a week in three-way calls and things like this. I don't necessarily consider it work. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, when you realize how big this is, you might think about it 80 hours a week. I do believe. Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to say that.
Before we go any further, I got to ask.
Sure.
You have like some extra cases of Brute from 1978 you're still hanging on to?
No, but my dad still has a bottle somewhere. I think it's in the downstairs bathroom, and every time I open up that medicine cabinet, there's a bottle of Brute there. I don't even know if it's dried up or whatever, but yeah, it was That was the thing, you know.
That was
Remember
my
that green
dad's
bottle?
scent back in the day.
Yeah,
That was my dad.
exactly,
Right.
exactly.
Well, there's a ton of businesses out there that people could get involved in network marketing,
Sure.
affiliate marketing, open up your own whatever.
Hmm.
I know why I think this is like tops. Why do you think it is?
Well, you know, I'm a businessman. People know I have a large staffing company, and I was always looking for something that was unique. I'll give you a little example. For years, I was a contractor, and it was concerning to me that every time I would do a job, I would negotiate and be the lowest bidder on a project. I did a lot of commercial work, and it was the lowest bidder on a project, and then do the job, and then all of a sudden the contractor wanted to, or the builder would want to renegotiate at the end of the job too. So I was constantly chasing money, and then I realized I'm going to get into providing the labor for a job, get paid on a weekly basis, and say, look, you need electricians, you need plumbers, you need welders, I'll provide them, you pay me at the end of the week, you worry about getting paid from the builder because you're holding the contract. So I really got into the whole idea of residual income that way. So I needed to find something that was unique. So no offense to any of the other professional network marketers that may be on this call that sell other products. I do like services, but products, if it's not unique and I can find that product somewhere else, or I have to buy a suite of products to make it work, that I find is not the way people normally buy. I'll go on Amazon, or I'll go on, or my wife will not use one single makeup, like the entire line of makeup. She may buy a Chanel mascara, and I'll see a MAC whatever blush or whatever you call it, and I'll see in her makeup bag about 5 different manufacturers. So I've realized that people don't necessarily buy with that type of brand loyalty, right? Another thing is a protein powder. I can go literally around the corner to the supermarket and buy a protein powder for $13 to $14 versus maybe buying a multi-level marketing protein powder, excellent products by the way, but spend $70. So depending on what I'm looking for, I found, you know, multi-level marketing, HGH, FDA, right? No one else has it, and everybody wants it. And so that made this a no-brainer decision for me. It wasn't a me too product, you know. I find that if I'm going to spend an hour a day or 10 hours a day building something, I want to make it where I have the best shot for success. And that to me is a great, unique product.
Now, you mentioned to me that you know personally some people that have never had any success attempting any type of home-based business before.
Right.
Either they've tried it or that they've attempted before and just did not do well, but they are doing well at this. Why is that?
Well, again, I have to, as much as I want to say they have a great upline, it's really not. It's that they have a product that 2 things are happening. Number one, there's a the product piques interest very, very quickly, right? Everybody's like, I wanted to try that. Or, you know, whatever, even if it's a negative connotation, well, I really think it's effective, but I heard there's some issues with it, right? Either way, you have a very, very big excitement level. So that makes the approach so much easier. Number one. Number two, it's not a Me Too product. I don't want to keep repeating that, but it's the truth. It's something different and unique. 3, it's a very simple system. We create exposure, sending a video, and then we do a 3-way call. And what's the purpose of the 3-way call? To answer those questions and concerns that people may have, and to let them know there's a support system for them. And that's another reason why people fail. I urge everyone, if you're in the business already, do not sponsor and run. Yes, we all want to have big teams. Let me tell you how to build a big team. By working with your team. You know, you need to be there for them when they need you, right? Because let's face it, we need to, I tell everyone who wants to get me on a 3-way call, don't worry about where I am. Send me a quick text. Make sure that they're ready for the call. They don't know what to expect. I already know, and I'm already committed. Let's get them at their time, and then eventually they will be the ones to say, just call me anytime. And that's what happens, you know?
Right. So folks that have struggled before are able to succeed at this because of the buzz of the product. It actually works.
Right.
at it hits a sweet spot for the aging population
World, yeah.
that yeah, exactly. Well, I'm totally pumped about it, and I appreciate your time. Couple of resources. I know there's the getonthegel.com
Right.
where people can go if they want to go anonymously and just take a look. It's nobody's link is there. Nobody's going to see that you're there
Right.
and call you on the phone or bother you or anything. And also, we've also got the men's and the women's testimonial page also, that if anybody would like to be added to that and they want to take a look for themselves, not just David and Paul talking about this.
Sure.
What else would you say before we get off here, Paul?
Well, I'd like to reiterate what you just said. Number one, I think the video is good. It's agnostic, so you could use, getonthegel.com. It gives them what's good about the video. It's the company video, and then it gives you the expectations of the first through the 6th month. I just want to say something, guys. We are not promising any cures, right? We can say no side effects, and we could also say what it may do. Just because it affected me in a positive way for my mood, it may not affect someone else in a positive way. Chances are it will, but you need to be sure that we're not selling a cure. We have to be very careful about that because we need to protect what we have as our FDA registration. Companies out there that do not deal with the FDA can make any claim they want to make, okay, and which creates a lot of hype. We are the opposite. We need to say that this is what it may do for you. We'll ask you to try it. And then their testimonial is absolutely fine. And we have thousands upon thousands of testimonials. That's number one. So, and then get into your back office. Guys, open your toolbox. What I mean by opening your toolbox, if you're a distributor, go into the resources, click under resources, download the comp plan and read it. Download the commercial customer, minimum advertised price policy. Start doing a little reading. You'll be surprised how much you'll learn that way by doing it. Spend a little time on your business. It is a business. New people, yes, get them into the testimonials group. People like to do their own research. What do? I call it artificial intelligence. They go on to Google and they're artificially, intelligent about what HGH is. Well, someone sent me a thing about, it was a negative HGH article, and sure enough, you get to the bottom of it and it says, and that's why you should buy this product instead. So it's all marketing, not research. So let's make sure that we're listening to really what people are saying about the product. Make sure when you're looking at studies, the majority, if not every study out there is based on injectable dosage, right? And long-term use, which it was never developed for that. Microdosing is a completely new, arena as far as hormone therapy is concerned.
Right. Okay, well, sounds great. Well, I'll tell you what, thank you, Paul. If you are interested in learning about the product or the business, reach out to me. I will guide you with anything you want to know. I'll get you in touch with folks like Paul, who are very gracious with their time and can share beyond my what I've learned, but I'm learning more all the time. But you're not in business by yourself if you do this. And if you just want to use the product, everybody does not have to go into business.
Right.
Actually, it's more advantageous price-wise if you enroll as a distributor. But nobody's going to make you to go out and try to sell anything. But if you do, the word of mouth of this can make it can very much help you in the coming months and years.
It could change financially and in your health and well-being. It could literally change your life. And we'll make ourselves available. You're right. You had a really good point there. You do not need to go whole hog. You could be a customer. We'd love to have you a customer and try the product. The thing is, when people try the product, they want to recommend it to people, and then all of a sudden you become a distributor. Listen, thank you so much for inviting me on. I want to let everybody know that I'd be glad to work with you, David, on doing three-way calls. You said you're not in business. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. You do not need to be an expert on this product, guys. That's why we rely on your upline. In fact, we recommend when you're talking to someone, get that third-party person on the phone, because when you get the third-party person, they realize, gee, I could do that too. I could send a video. I can get someone else on the phone. Sorry, my computer just blacked out. But I can get someone. So you want to make this duplicatable, okay, guys? So listen, David, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the interview.
Thank you.
You know, guys, we're here for you. If you want to research the product, get on the pages. And again, have a great night. I'll let you close, David.
Thank you very much. And again, just very excited. That's why I keep getting on here, because this is a game changer, not only for your health, but for your finances as well. So thanks a lot, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you, Paul.
Bye-bye.
Bye.